Yeah, Charles brought up Alzheimer's and also past lives. The forgetful condition. Yeah, as the body breaks down, like an old car, the parts start to wear out, certain parts of it, because the personal mind here and the brain, especially the brain, is a receiver, is what it is. And what's so cool about the isness is when you recognize it, it's always present. And so whether you remember the past or not is not important. It's not important at all because all life is an isness. What we look at as past, even present and future, aside from the real now life is, the isness, these are just ideas is all. And so we can create any idea we want. We can relate to any idea we want. And for the most part, the world has, trained itself, you might say, to keep up what it created in the so-called past. And that's what we call tradition and other things, heritage, history, whatever. And yeah, and realistically, you're right, Charles. These are conditions. They actually are conditions. I like that. I'm going to write about that. That's a fun way to look at it. And just like Alzheimer's, there's no difference. You just simply forget because the machinery here is breaking down, so they call it Alzheimer's, because people just relate to their personal self only, so it becomes a condition. But actually, the whole world is a condition of how it looks at things, and especially what is taking place with agreed upon self-destruction of the place. It's really a big condition, but most people seem to think, oh, well, that's okay. You see? So, yes, is there a world doctor or a galactic doctor for the Earth? Well, yes, there is. That's the real guides, and the all is. So, it's up to the individual if they want to recognize the isness, which becomes the real cure for all. It's not that it's a miracle thing. That's an idea. It's a reality according to the individual and how they, again, this is where UP comes in, universal positioning, how they position themselves and decide to be so. The idea is that what happens to people if they don't come across a new presentation, etc. Each person on its own, but I would say that a lot of people are just going to be taken or figure out or go to the big cafeteria in the sky in the astral worlds. That's one option. There's heaven on earth, and there's heaven in other realms we call heaven. And it's now that this is brought up, the idea of heaven is interesting because it was really the original invaders of this planet that decided a lot of these things, heaven and hell and whatever, and these have become designated places for people, etc. So, but realistically, it's up to each individual what they figure out, and so. Not everybody is ready for this to understand this because life is big. And what we're understanding from the new presentation is really very minute. I mean, this is just a start into something that is awesome and incredible that you can't even consider. Actually, that's the best part of it. This is where the perceiving comes in. So for those people that don't, many people are self-decided. A lot of people believe in things, so they're going to kind of go where they're going to kind of go. They've decided that it's like, well, I believe there's a heaven, and I'm going to go to this nice place and be with my family and whatever. See, again, it's really not about the belief. It's really about deciding. So everybody realistically in their own way, and then some people decide, well, I'm going to be 6 feet under. There's no such thing. Well, that's scary because, again, you're committing yourself to an idea. And, yeah, there are people that are even conscious under the ground in their casket until they decide otherwise. So, it's very, very interesting. So each person decides accordingly. So what we're providing are options. And so even those that do the new you that don't even recognize that still don't recognize the is or the real universes, the guides are still there. So you just cling on to Rebazar and Paul and whatever in the real guides, and they will be around, and little at a time you can learn more. So again, at least you know now what's going on, but we all make decisions. It's all choice is what it is. It's not about somebody's going to take us somewhere, because we're in the whole of life. All of us are. We just simply wake up and recognize that, and then decide accordingly what position we wish to be in. So when you're in the one-dimensional state, it's the here from there idea. Here, from here to there. All right, so that's basically one-dimensional. So you're going to move somewhere. You're going to go somewhere in creation. The best thing about the is that you decide universally, you might say, to be anywhere. And this becomes the difference because it's an isness. You don't have to move from here to there. You simply recognize. But for the most part, the one-dimensional people, they're going to experience, and it's going to work in their consciousness that they've created from the here to there position, etc. And then for the most part, they'll probably come back because they have emotional attachments and probably a lot of karma and tap lines. So, but it's choice. It breaks down to choice, and they can choose differently, accordingly, except for those that have to go to the purgatories in the lower astral realm or something like that because of all the really nasty bad karma they've created. And there's going to be a lot this lifetime since what's going on. A lot of people are contributing, so they're going to have to deal with it.
This planet Earth needs a lot of help from all of us right now. Dean Val of NUUU, Nations United, Universal University, is contacting people around this world every day to share the importance of the all-natural environment supporting all of us. Dean Val and Duane Lee Hepner.org 501c3 have created CAN, Community Action Network, to help all communities become aware of how to be self-sufficient with permaculture and food and rainforests. We are always looking for real people to step up who want to learn what life on this earth is all about. We will be leasing large portions of land to create something wonderful for all communities everywhere. Contact Val Vittles on Skype and Facebook, and through the phone number and the website DuaneTheGreatWriter.net provided in the links, to get involved with what we all can do now. The NUUU, Nations United Universal University, is dedicated to supporting and providing a real purpose and real awareness with the all-natural environment supporting all of us. First comes this earth with food and rainforests, and to protect what is still here. For those who have the awareness to see what is actually taking place here with all the natural devastation, which is also purposely planned by world controllers, you now have a real opportunity to step up and do something with those who also care about your planet Earth. Duane Lee Hepner has created the NUUU, Nations United Universal University, which completely entails the all-natural environment everywhere, and a real education that has real value, and that far surpasses any commonly created indoctrinating educational system that does not focus on what sustains all of us naturally. Real survival makes sense with everything here that is self-sustaining.